grind hard to get ahead. You trying to go backwards.
Feeling like the old me. Feelings from the past, pray the Lord block it all out. I was in love with you.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, Kevin 2 Turn on this YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Litty in 3 motherfucking teeth, man. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Turn up in this bitch, you dig? Turn up, man. We are watching 5 horrific GoFundMe scam artists, bro. This shit finna be funny. Bruh. You know a lot of niggas be doing this shit, bruh. I mean, I don't have no problem with it. Hey, people gotta eat. You dig? Hey, you gotta be smart these motherfucking days and know what you're doing and what you're doing with your money and shit. Sometimes people need it, sometimes people don't need it. You just gotta know which one to you know what I'm saying? Even at that time, man. Not being selfish, but you just gotta know what you gotta do with this shit. You dig? And you can't get caught up with this shit. You feel me? But we finna watch 5 horrific ones. We already watched the GoFundMe dumbest ones already. I guess shit could be like part 2 shit, cause hey. But we finna watch it, finna get it, let's go. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. You dig?
If you like the video, then please consider supporting Slopes Game Room on Patreon.
I wanna take you for a ride.
But we finna turn up.
We all have the ability to start a crowdfunding campaign, the ability to make a video and sell our brilliant idea to the world. And although sometimes that works out pretty great, other times not so much. And today it is my great displeasure to do an entire episode based on GoFundMe. And yes, even though I've personally backed your campaign myself, or should I say donated, after discovering the crazy amount of people that use this website for scams, I'm not likely to use it again. So I've brought it up a couple of times, most notably in my conspiracy theory episode, but after looking and very easily discovering what else is on here, oh boy, you guys are in for a bumpy ride. Go and chuck all your money on sites such as Kickstarter and Indiegogo, because www.gofundme.com has more blatant scam artists that will make you actually feel a little bit sick inside than both of those websites combined. Oh yes, let's just get on with it. Hi everyone, I'm DJ Slope from Slope's Game Room, and this is 5 horrific GoFundMe scam artists.
This shit is crazy, bruh. We gonna see how this shit goes, bruh. Memorial fund. Okay. Hey.
Helping pay for somebody's funeral is nothing but a normal thing that you're likely to see on GoFundMe. It's a tragedy when a friend or someone you know dies, especially when the family around them do not have the stupidly high funds to respectively put that beloved member of family to rest.
That's tough.
And sadly for the Aguilar family, Jared Aguilar died on Christmas morning 2017. To help raise the funds needed for the departure of Jared, one Sean K. Williams set up the GoFundMe page asking for a humble $5,000. He even tagged Sean into a Facebook post to raise awareness from his friends and family. Our dear friend Jared Aguilar passed away tragically earlier this Christmas morning. He was a loyal friend who died doing what he loved. Except, you guessed it, he ain't dead. He alive.
What?
Jared was very, very much alive, and thankfully, probably due to the tagging over on Facebook, the GoFundMe page quickly got taken down so quickly that nobody actually pledged towards the fake funeral costs. And although family members knew the whole thing was bogus because, well, they spent Christmas with him, a lot of friends didn't. And in several interviews with local news channels, he explains that his phone literally blew up with well wishes and messages of grief. Nobody ever worked out who Sean K. Williams was, and after GoFundMe quickly removed the post, they put out a statement that anybody that fell for this would indeed get a full refund.
Nigga made up a whole account saying this nigga dead, nigga. They need 5 racks immediately. This nigga was on Facebook, Jay chilling, bruh.
Imagine this. You're a young 20-something lass driving into Philadelphia late one night when your car runs out of fuel. Crazily scared, you pull over, get out your car and make a move to the nearest petrol station when all of a sudden Johnny the homeless guy comes to the rescue and suggests that you get back in your car and lock the doors. A little while later, Johnny returns after spending his final $20 on fuel for you so that you can get home. Yeah, what is this guy after, right? Well, excuse me guys, he isn't actually after anything. Besides, Kate admitted to not have any cash on her at the time. But that didn't stop her turning up almost daily from that point on to meet up with Johnny, giving him back the money she owed him, a new jacket, new socks, gloves, a hat and several more dollars every time that she did. Wishing she could do more, she went to GoFundMe to tell her tale and boom, the whole thing blew up. She needed $10,000 to give him rent for a small apartment, a small truck and expenses for 6 months, so that he could find a job of his own, and after it hit $402,706, that changed to buying him a house of his own and his own dream truck. But with this episode being all about the biggest GoFundMe scammers, can you guess who the big scammer here is? Yep, it's Kate. Or is it? To be fair, it's all a little bit hazy, but the big house actually turned into a trailer on Kate's family land. Money would be rationed to Johnny on a random basis, and the truck he was promised was so beaten up, needing a new fuel injector, that it wouldn't even run. Although it doesn't really matter too much, as Johnny never had a driving license in the first place. Oh, and he did admit to using a small amount of the money on drugs. So actually, perhaps Kate was doing him a favour, right? You know, dishing out the money in a small, timely manner. It's hard to say. The trucks that Johnny were given were all under Kate and her partner's name that have since been sold. Johnny ended up going into rehab a couple of times due to the drug habit, to find out on his return he's indeed back on the streets. Whilst Kate and her family have been having some rather awesome holidays in California, Florida, Las Vegas, as well as the odd helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon. Not bad for a secretary and a carpenter, right? Now, this story has been covered quite a bit, and honestly, the more you read into it, the more your mind changes between Kate and her partner Mark and Johnny. The couple claim that giving him the remaining $200,000 to a drug addict would be the same as giving him a loaded gun. The arguments on who paid for this, and if the money was spent on gambling, which Mark is very much into apparently, as well as the remaining $200,000 being put into a savings account only to be given to John if he drops the drugs and gets the job, are all very much up in the air. I have no doubt in my mind that the whole thing started with the very best intentions from Johnny's helpfulness of the petrol and Kate's launching of the crowdfunding page. But really, who is to blame here when, by all accounts, our homeless hero is back living under a bridge? Well, now that you've plastered your opinions down below, let me help you with the finale of this story so far. Kate and Mark were forced by a judge very, very recently to hand over any remaining money to Johnny's own attorney. Only problem was, when that deadline hit, Kate and Mark finally admitted that all of the money was gone. Some of that money went on Johnny, that's for sure, but how much is unsure. I'll let you guys give your own opinions below, whilst Johnny is, as about a week ago, back in rehab, and the couple's home has actually been raided on September 6th of this very year, with plenty of bags of evidence being taken away, as well as the couple's BMW that was allegedly purchased with the money. The case continues.
Fuck! $400 spent that hoe, got it donated to
The
what?
desperate need for medical bills is something you're likely to see a hell of a lot on GoFundMe. If someone isn't begging to help them start a Twitch stream channel, they're most probably asking for something far more serious. And in this case, well, actually, What you see in the picture is, in fact, the truth. In fact, this is the first GoFundMe campaign that's still open for you to pledge yourself if you want to. Although, before you do, I suggest you wait until you hear the full story. Riley Burton was involved in a motorcycle accident, a pretty bad one by the looks of things, and the very brief campaign reads that Riley got in a motorcycle accident and hit a brick wall. He will be out of work for a while and has some serious medical bills along with the normal bills that he won't be able to pay until he can return to work. We're asking for any help, anything will be appreciated. There was even an update posted that says, first day was a success. Thanks to those who have been there for us and who have donated to the cause. We really appreciate it. So what's the issue? Well, if we make our way over to local news sites on the date of the accident, it gets into a little more detail. Yes, Riley had a crash, but not into a brick wall, but instead into the Little Dreamers Daycare Centre. And not only does he have minor injuries, but he was arrested too due to being drunk when the accident took place. The owner of the daycare centre went ballistic, claiming that even though the accident did happen, it's nowhere near as bad as it sounds, and that Riley is just using it as an excuse to make some money. A complete lie. This is not a sob story. This is blatant lying. And as of the release of this story back in 2017, no charges were ever put forward. And like I said, the GoFundMe page is still very much open to any donations offered.
What? What? They already got $540. Shit.
I bloody love Disney, and just in case you guys are actually interested, as of the making of this video, me and the fam-a-lam have finally saved up enough to go back to Disney once again to take my 1-year-old daughter, sorry, my 1-year-old Disney princess for the very first time.
But she ain't gonna remember this shit, she only 1 year
Disney is awesome, but it comes at a price. Disney is actually quite an expensive getaway, and nobody knows this better than Nikki Smith, the 30-year-old mum of 2 that wants to take them to the most magical place on earth. I have been blessed with the most amazing, kind, loving and caring daughters. They are my best friends and my life. Annalise is 12 and Angelina is 10. They are so helpful, animal loving and rays of sunshine. I really want to show them how much I appreciate and love them. I work 2 nights a week at a local hospital, as this is all I'm able to do at the moment because of childcare. They watch a lot of YouTube videos where children are surprised by their parents with a holiday to Disney World, and they even get watching it. The post goes on and on, pleading for you to pay for her kids to go to Disneyland, and the page become an overnight sensation, being plastered around thousands of times on social media sites and popular news websites, shaming the mum for using a platform that's often used to help people in need, instead pay for this family's holiday. What's your opinion on all this? Yes, I know it's not a proper scam, I just didn't fancy everything on this list being based around death. Regardless, put your opinions below, because if you ask me, she's just taking the mickey. Get it? As in Mickey Mouse?
No. Head ass, yeah. But nah, I don't know about this shit, man. I mean, the kids get the one in a lifetime chance shit. It is what it is, but the parents just want to see
this one
shit.
isn't nice.
And y'all feel like, I don't
Okay,
know, bro.
this is Blake's bucket list, the GoFundMe created
Disneyland
back in
crazy
2016, and this pixelated face that you see here is Blake. And according to Blake's 31-year-old single mother of 4, he is dying. About a year ago, my son Blake fell ill after numerous doctors and me not backing down. He got diagnosed with type 3 von Willebrand. We thought, okay, we can know he's gonna be okay. Wrong, the bleeding got worse. He started losing weight and passing out on me. My motherly instinct knew something was wrong. Back to the doctors we go. After 12 tubes of blood and 2 separate bone marrow tests, we found out it's leukemia. This was what was plastered all over the GoFundMe page and eventually all over random social media pages around the web. Blake made a list of things he wanted to do before he got sick, Now it's my job to help him do just that. It's a heartstring-pulling story that I'm sure would have blown up considerably. Sadly,
he was
though,
4 years
Blake
old. How much was
died.
there? What was on his bucket list?
Except he didn't. Just like Jared, he alive. The only reason I've decided to yet do another story like this is because unlike the Aguilar case where nobody knew who did it, in this case Blake's very own mother, one Victoria Morrison, was the person who faked her own son's death in order to get a decent sized cash payout. So what the hell went wrong here? Firstly, Blake was indeed ill, but it wasn't as bad as she made out. He apparently had a typical childlike illness that she did get treated at the doctors. But she still decided to tell his school about the fake leukemia and even convinced him to sit in a wheelchair while she paraded him around in a Shop with a Hero event and even got a charity helicopter ride around Tahoe. And it gets even crazier. Not only did she fake his death on Facebook claiming that he was cremated, but she even held a service for him. In 2016, after multiple health complications, 10-year-old Blake's show was diagnosed with type 3 von Willebrand disease and leukemia. Sadly, Blake was received into heaven on the 4th of the 8th, 2017. Please take this moment to reflect on how important it is to honour Blake's life by helping the person that loved him the most. Oh, come on. As well as receiving random donations, the GoFundMe page was also set up with this tragic update. And the donator of one of the mother's dodgy campaigns decided to contact another family member to ask how they was dealing with the loss when suddenly everything came to light. Apparently one of the ultimate scam artists only actually managed to get away with about $2,000 and several gift cards from friends and teachers of Blake for this devilish act. When it was all eventually discovered and the total possible earnings are unknown. All 4 children are now in custody and Victoria Morrison is now in prison for 5 to 12 years.
Damn. Oof. Oof. Turn up, turn up, turn up. Oof. That's tough.
Hey there guys, thanks for checking out the video. I want to give a big special shout out to all of my patrons, but first an extra big special shout out goes to that retro video gamer, Ryan Burford, Gary Pinkett, Andrew Dalton, Aaron McNamara, Tomek Lukowski, Christopher Turnbull, Brent Kraft, Ben Jackson, E.A. Chapman, Phil Lowland, Retro to Next Gen, Clan GX, Tim Lund, Genovi, Video Game Basement, and as Pixel.Limited, aka Samuel Victor, Red the Beard, John Fuller, Conrad Constantine, Nintendo 64, Mike Fallon, Gavin.
Alright, we might cancel it. We might call it off. But hell yeah, man. Turn up in this bitch, man. 5 horrific GoFundMe scam artists. They turned the fuck up, went crazy and shit. I don't know if it's good for some of them or bad for a lot of them. Hey man, make sure you know what you're doing when you trying to scam, finesse. Hey y'all be careful out here on it, man. Be careful out here on them streets, you dig, man. Make sure y'all be turned the fuck up, though, man. Make sure y'all do y'all motherfucking thing. And, you know what I'm saying? Keep on grinding, not stop, man. We're here for a reason. I see the straight hood and outside shit, man. Make sure y'all turn up in this bit, man. Yeah, deuces.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.